The iconic Beijing National Stadium, better known as the Bird's Nest, is our host venue this evening, as it was for the Paralympic Games of the summer of 2008. Athletes representing 46 national Paralympic committees will join us shortly, their emotions running high over what's to come. Their performances will remind us all of what we can achieve when we are our best selves, a reminder that is as important now as it ever has been.
The opening ceremony is more than an amusement, though you will be entertained. This is ritual, uniting a global community, paying respects to the past and the principles of Paralympic competition. Oaths will be taken, anthems sung, flags will fly side by side, and from the darkness will come light to spark the Paralympic flame. It will be heartfelt, simple and beautiful. It will also fully embrace the ideal of a sporting movement parallel to the Olympics, existing side by side.
For the athletes, a 4-year journey reaches its destination. These are moments of anticipation, of fun, even of fear, when you have the privilege of marching with your teammates into a stadium in front of a worldwide audience. It is a powerful moment for these athletes.
We're blessed with a clear, cool night. Has been windy during the day, but conditions have backed off. We have an audience in as well, which is great. Getting excited and ready to greet not just the athletes, but our VIPs. The warmth will be going both ways to acknowledge the President of the People's Republic of China. Xi Jinping, who was Vice President for 5 years up to 2013 and President since then. His wife, Peng Liyuan. Xi Jinping, a staunch supporter of the Olympic and Paralympic Games being held in China. And IPC President Andrew Parsons, the 45-year-old Brazilian sports administrator, President since September 2017. Some of us have been fortunate to have been in this venue multiple times. It is unusual. It's atmospheric and it's got added charm at night because of the way it is illuminated. Spectacular this evening.
This building takes on a life of its own. It welcomes spectators and it welcomes the performers centre stage.
It stood the test of time from 2008 till 2022. It feels brand new.
Really will add to the enjoyment of the athletes that we do have a crowd in.
Already the energy from the rehearsal to tonight is measurable.
Well, according to the United Nations, the goal of the Paralympics is to place sport at the service of humanity by harnessing its great potential to contribute to the global struggle for peace, prosperity and the preservation of human dignity. The world is about to be treated to great and beautiful contests of sporting spirit.
The host country and the International Paralympic Committee will be anxious to get this ceremony and the competition underway after a number of difficult days and fraught decision-making about how to proceed. Proceed we will, though, and we hope you'll be delighted with what you see and hear tonight from Beijing. Welcome to the opening ceremony for the Paralympic Winter Games of 2022. Coming to you from the National Stadium in the Chinese capital. We'll soon be joined by the athletes. There'll be almost 80 events in 5 sports, nearly 600 participants. These games are about much more than simple numbers.
Olympic Winter Games began in Sweden in 1976. They've grown, they've evolved, attitudes have changed in the world. Technology has certainly played its part, leading us to these days and these moments when we expect brilliant athletic performances. Athletes representing their countries to the best of their abilities, even in trying times. And leads us to this moment, the Games of 2022 here in Beijing. Salt Lake City was a brilliant host in 2002, a breakthrough Games in many ways, leading us to Torino, on to Vancouver. Sochi paved the way for Pyeongchang. And here we are in Beijing in 2022. A great evolution of sport and humankind.
And here's a hint of what we're here to see in China. Skiing, the visually impaired competitions complete with guide, and para snowboarding, which joins the Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi in 2014. And there's always time for a countdown. China love wheelchair curling.
Get ready to hurry hard towards the opening of these games. On the button.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national flag of the People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，欢迎中华人民共和国国旗入场。
The national flag is being carried by Chinese athletes and individuals who have contributed to the lives of persons with disabilities.
手持国旗的旗手由中国残疾人运动员和为残疾人事业做出贡献的代表们组成。
The flag is being accompanied on its journey by the song My Motherland and I, a very famous and popular tune in China, almost a second national anthem. The flag itself features one large star and four smaller ones. It's been in use since October 1949. And the national anthem, when we get to it, known as the March of the Volunteers, it's been the official anthem since 1978.
We talk so much about the performances of the athletes, but how about the performances and the hard work that the performers have put in to be ready for these games?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，请起立，升中华人民共和国国旗，奏唱中华人民共和国国歌。请坐。
Who doesn't love a mascot? Let me introduce you to Shui Ronron, the mascot of the Paralympic Winter Games of Beijing 2022. Now, he's a lantern child, or it's a lantern child, with a little auspicious dusting of snow, with hints of a Chinese knot. But the lantern child will be helping the athletes on their way into the stadium tonight.
Good skater, too.
Red lanterns in China, symbolic of prosperity, often seen at celebrations as happy and positive additions. They've been around for centuries. These days they're also considered symbols of national pride.
Shui Ronron has an important job tonight. They're promising a warm welcome for the 46 nations taking part in these games.
们、先生们，欢迎北京2022年残奥会运动员入场。
These final moments of anticipation. The opening nation to make its way into the stadium, Belgium, appearing in 10 of 13 editions of the Paralympic Winter Games. 13 is a key number. Remember that. You'll hear it a few times tonight. Just two competitors on this year's Belgium team, both skiers. Linda Laban will race in all the alpine disciplines along with her guide, 1984 Olympian Pierre Coquelet. Remy Mazi will ski in the technical events. He is the flag bearer. He'll ski in the slalom and the giant slalom. He switched over from athletics and says that sport helped develop his endurance, his strength, his resistance, which has carried over nicely into skiing.
The flag bearer, Koyuki Taiki, a biathlete, a 2019 world champion in cross country. Japan with a total of 29 athletes. They'll compete across 4 snow sports: alpine skiing, cross country, biathlon and snowboarding. Like many, their pre-Paralympic training disrupted by the pandemic, and they'll compete without having participated in test events, but that's true for many, of course. They say they'll be relying on teamwork and adaptability. They had a team-forming ceremony on the day before they left for Beijing early last week.
Coordinated nicely with Shui Romron.
Japan knows all about what it means to be a host country. They just host nation for the Olympic and Paralympic Games just half a year ago.
Denmark.
Well, the flag of Denmark is being carried by a volunteer. Seated skier Adam Nybo will represent his country. 44th in the world rankings. The 21-year-old's favourite event is sitting slalom. He's also qualified for the sitting giant slalom. Since the Winter Paralympic Winter Games was first held in 1976, Denmark have won 6 medals. The last coming in 1998 in Nagano. Anna Mette Breidel winning gold in the cross-country skiing.
Well, we've heard a lot about the journey that these Ukrainian athletes endured just to get here to Beijing. Grueling for many. A 39-member, very talented team, particularly strong in biathlon and cross-country. Their flag bearer, there were so many choices. They went with Maxim Yaroyi, 5-time Paralympic medalist in para-Nordic, 6-time world champion. Ukraine very strong at the Paralympic Games when they were held in Beijing in the summer of 2008. Won a dazzling 74 medals. Let's watch for Ludmila Leashenko in these games, a 5-time world champion in Nordic. 2 golds at the World Championships this year in January, 1 in cross-country and 1 in biathlon. There is the team from Ukraine. Ukraine has been competing as an independent national Paralympic committee since 1996.
dos Santos Rocha, the first woman to represent Brazil at a Winter Paralympic Games in 2018, alongside Christian Westmeyer Ribera, as the Andrew Parsons stands to welcome his countrymen into the Bird's Nest Stadium. Westmeyer Ribera was the youngest Paralympian, competed in Pyeongchang at the age of just 15 years, 118 days, and has produced the best result for Brazil.
Not only is the flag bearer, alpine skier Sheena Vaspi, making her Paralympic Winter Games debut, but so is Israel. Sheena Vaspi, will compete in alpine slalom and giant slalom. She says that she fell in love with skiing the minute she touched the snow. She trains in Winter Park, Colorado in the U.S. Israel has a long history in the summer at the Paralympic Games. Canada has competed in every edition of the Paralympic Games, summer and winter. The flag bearers, both gold medalists. Greg Westlake, gold in Torino in 2006 in para ice hockey, playing in his 5th Games. Ina Forrest, there's Greg. Ina Forrest also carrying the flag. There she is beside him. From wheelchair curling, gold in 2010, 2014, bronze in 2018. Some big team includes 6-time Paralympic hockey player Billy Bridges, 6-time Paralympian Brian McKeever from Nordic skiing, a 17-time Paralympic medalist. He says these will be his final games. He and his brother, there he is. In the picture, he says he and his brother Robin have been featured in a major promotional campaign this year. The chef de mission of this team is Josh Dueck, Canadian 3-time medal-winning para-alpine skier in his own right. And Mark Arends is from Canada's smallest province, Prince Edward Island, but he brings big performance to the table. 6 medals in Pyeongchang. Other big names are Liam Hickey from Newfoundland and Labrador, 2 sports star. He's played wheelchair basketball and para ice hockey. Mac Marcoux, para skier. NHL player Mike Foligno is an assistant coach on the para ice hockey team. Tyler McGregor, captain of that team, hoping to reclaim gold for Canada for the first time since 2006.
Well, for Spain, the athletes are Victor Gonzalez in snowboard and Paul Macuri Redolad in cross-country skiing. Spanish delegation will in total be made up of 9 people. 2 athletes and the technical team. They have a ski man, they have a trainer, doctors, physiotherapists, but Victor Gonzalez returns after his participation in Pyeongchang 2018. Makuri is also running as a candidate for the International Paralympic Committee.
Sarah Hundert is the sole representative from Liechtenstein, a nation with a proud winter sport heritage. As in the Olympics, Liechtenstein is the only participating country to have won a medal only at the Winter Paralympic Games and not at the summer event. That was in 1994. The 30-year-old skier will be racing in the women's sitting slalom and giant slalom.
Islamic Republic of Iran.
The Islamic Republic of Iran has been competing at the Paralympic Winter Games since 1988. 5 athletes competed in Pyeongchang, and including Ilaya Goli Falah. She became the first woman to represent Iran at the Paralympic Winter Games, and she is the flag bearer here in Beijing.
Hungary.
25-year-old Richard Dumati is the flag bearer and sole representative for Hungary. Began using a wheelchair at the age of 3 and quickly became familiar with hand biking and mono-skiing. He'll compete on alpine events at these games. Hungary will be represented at the Winter Games for the 5th time, 2002, 2006, 2010 and 2018 previously.
Iceland.
21-year-old Hilma Orvason studying medical engineering in Reykjavik. He's a golfer too, having played at national level for Iceland, and becomes Iceland's 4th Winter Paralympian.
One athlete from Andorra, alpine skier. In fact, all of the athletes who've represented Andorra since they've been in the games since 2002 have been para-alpine skiers. Roger Puig Davy will race in all 5 of the para-alpine disciplines: downhill, Super G, giant slalom, and combined. And he keeps busy. He's a lawyer. He studied in Barcelona, Spain as well. He was 9th in the downhill at the World Championships earlier this year.
For Finland, the flag bearer is Maiju Lorila, an alpine skier. There are 3 snowboarders, 2 alpine skiers, and cross-country skier Inke Enola and his guide Artu Karjo. Enola competes in the visually impaired skiers class, and he found his guide only last season to compete with him. Karjo races in his own events, but they've been a good combination.
Now a 2-time Paralympian, we see snowboarder Bruno Bozdiak. He won Croatia's first ever medal at the Paralympic Winter Games, bronze in the SB LL2 banked slalom 4 years ago. Joining him, alpine skiers Damir Midrak and 17-year-old Lucia Smetsiko. She also plays chess at European level, with the Nordic skier Josip Zima completing the contingent from Croatia. Centred every edition of the Winter Games since 2002, when it first took part. Snowboarder Konstantinos Petrakis is representing Greece at his 2nd Paralympic Winter Games, with debutante Eva Nikou signed up for the slalom, giant slalom, Super G and Super combined. Greece participating at this point in the parade because the order is dictated by the number of characters in the Chinese simplified alphabet, which is why we have the nations coming in the order they are.
Two competitors in Beijing from Argentina. Enrique Planti is the flag bearer. He'll compete in all of the alpine disciplines, looking to build on his 2 7th-place finishes from this year's World Championships in Lillehammer. Nicholas Lima is the other athlete from cross-country skiing, who was having trouble finding a sit ski for Pyeongchang, so he and his team, well, they made one, and he enjoyed it, so he plans to make more and get them into the hands of other young athletes.
Azerbaijan is appearing at the Winter Paralympics for the first time through Mehman Ramazanzadeh, and he was in Beijing in 2008 competing as a powerlifter. What a story, what a return to this great city. He'll be in the cross-country sprint category.
Latvia, strong sporting nation, competing in the Paralympic Winter Games for the 3rd time, on the hunt for their first medal. 5 athletes on the team. They are all part of the wheelchair curling squad. The team is skipped by Paulina Rozkova from Riga. She is one of the flag bearers, along with Ojars Breides, and both again from the curling team that was 10th at the World Championships.
Megan Dawson-Farrell, Gregor Ewan taking part in the wheelchair curling, sharing the duties of flying the Union Jack, made up of the flags of England, Scotland and Ireland. Great Britain have their largest teams, one of their largest teams to compete at a Paralympic Winter Games. 20 ski and snowboard athletes to the 5 wheelchair curlers have won 2 gold medals at the Winter Paralympics. Most recent coming in Pyeongchang through alpine skier Mina Fitzpatrick and her guide Jennifer Kehoe. They will be going again in Beijing. TV's most decorated Winter Paralympian.
Romania will be represented by two athletes, Laura Velianu, who will compete in alpine skiing, and Mihajlović Papara in snowboarding, sharing the honour of carrying the flag for Romania. Laura's current world rankings, 10th in downhill, 14th in Super G for Mihajlović, 4th world ranking in the men's bank slalom, so a real chance of a medal there. Also matching up well with Xie Rongrong.
France, a mainstay of the Paralympic Games both summer and winter since they began in 1960. Of course, Albertville hosted in 1992, and Paris will host the Paralympic Games in the summer of 2024. Flag bearer is Benjamin Daviet, 6-time Paralympic medalist in cross-country and biathlon. He is a 7-time world champion. Among the group of athletes on Team France is Marie Bochet, an 8-time Paralympic gold medalist in alpine. She was first and second in all 3 of the downhill training runs at the rock course at Yanqing this week.
Poland will be represented by 8 athletes and 1 guide, competing in 4 disciplines: cross-country, biathlon, alpine and para-snowboarding. Flag bearer Andrzej Szczęsny. Weta Ferron says she's so pleased to be here. Every member of our team will give 100 or maybe 110% of themselves, if that's possible. Keep your fingers crossed for us, she says.
There's some great skills flying that flag there.
Andrzej Szczęsny won the Polish version of Celebrity Splash and donated most of his earnings to help a cause for disability.
Puerto Rico.
We see the flag of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico for the first time at a Paralympic Winter Games, and the name Orlando Perez goes into the history books as his country's first Winter Paralympian. He's carving a path for others to follow. Orlando will be racing in the men's slalom and giant slalom sitting, having retired from wheelchair basketball. 46 lives in Salt Lake City in the US now and trains 5 days a week. He's looking to impress out on the slopes.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
2 athletes representing Bosnia and Herzegovina, including Jovica Goreta, who was working to clear landmines after the Bosnian War, and that's how he lost his leg, along with alpine skier Ilma Kazazic. Only 23 years old, already she is competing in her 3rd Paralympic Winter Games.
Norway's flag bearers Sissel Løken from wheelchair curling, silver medalist in Pyeongchang and a 2017 world champion, and Captain Haugen in cross-country, who first competed in a Winter Paralympics in Nagano, followed by Salt Lake, Turin and Vancouver. Mr. Couple, he's back. The record for the most medals won by a Winter Paralympian belongs to a Norwegian, Ragnhild Mikkelhurst. She won 27 medals, of which 22 were gold, between 1988 and 2002.
She was incredible.
Kazakhstan.
Well, Kazakhstan bid to host the 2022 Games, but lost out to China. 44 votes to 40 in the end. Pretty close. 5 skiers here to represent their country. Not the force they were hoping to send, as the COVID-19 pandemic caused problems with qualifying. You see the teal and gold flag of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and the decoration is known as the Kokoshka Muiz translates into English as the horns of the ram. The sun and the stepped eagle also on the flag, which is blue, representing endless sky as well as water.
United States of America.
Well, the United States have a 67-member delegation, including 2 guides for visually impaired athletes. And flag bearer Danielle Umstead from alpine skiing. Her husband Rob is her guide. Features 39 returning Paralympians, this team, including 2 6-time Paralympians in Oksana Masters and Aaron Pike. 1 5-time Paralympian, Laurie Stevens, in alpine skiing. They topped the medal table in 2018. 36 medals. Oksana Masters, an incredible story. The most decorated athlete in their team with 10 Paralympic medals.
Netherlands.
Now you're going to have to go a long way to beat this for a date night. Para-snowboarders and couple Lisa van Schotten and Chris Vos are bringing in the flag for the Netherlands. Van Schotten, a 2-time Paralympic medalist, bronze in the SSB LL2 bank slalom, silver snowboard cross 4 years ago. Vos won silver medal then. But there's a big gap in this team where Vivian Mentelspie would have been the pioneer who fought long and hard to get para-snowboard onto the Paralympic Winter Games schedule. She passed away just under a year ago, dominated the sport. Since its inclusion in 2014, her legacy, there will be a new Paralympic snowboard champion.
The team from Georgia consists of, well, 1 athlete, Timuri Dadieni, who lost both of his legs to a landmine while serving as a soldier in Afghanistan. He's remarkable, though. Set a Guinness World Record doing 44 plank push-ups in 1 minute. Incredible. Incredibly active athlete. He'll compete in cross-country skiing here in Beijing. Look it up, Timuri Dadieni.
Estonia.
Well, welcome back, Estonia. Haven't competed at the Winter Paralympics since 2002. They won a bronze medal in Lillehammer in '94, their only podium finish so far. And they have qualified their curling team. Sinja Falkenberg, who's also the Secretary General of the Estonian Paralympic Committee, is their flag bearer. So a little bit fortunate to be here, and they are going to make the most of the opportunity, they say.
Czech Republic.
A 5th Paralympics for goalkeeping legend Mikhail Vapenka, his 4th consecutive Winter Games, played volleyball in Atlanta back in 1996, but the flag being carried by Zdeněk Krupicka, also taking part in the para-ice hockey. The Czech Republic haven't won a medal at the Paralympic Winter Games since Vancouver in 2010. And Mikhail Vapenka, an absolute legend in the para-hockey goalkeeping world. His parents both played volleyball for Czechoslovakia at the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich. Something in the genes, you might suggest. They'll be pushing for a medal in the para-ice hockey.
One athlete on the team from Slovenia, alpine skier Janusz Slivnik. 21-year-old will ski in his 2nd Paralympic Winter Games. He was 4th in slalom sit-ski at the World Championships earlier this year in Norway. Gets help for his training from his friend, he says his idol NHL player Anzi Kopitar.
Slovakia.
斯洛伐克。
Slovakia will have 27 competitors, including their para ice hockey and curling teams. Additionally, they have 4 women and 4 men due to compete in alpine skiing. 5 of the 8 skiers will be in the vision impaired category, so there are 5 guide skiers in the team as well. Very much part of the team. Flag bearer is Monika Punkalova from their curling team. And a 3rd Paralympic Winter Games for Monika.
The nameplate that is being carried ahead of the teams is based on a Chinese knot and a snowflake, the two ideas woven together with a snowflake design for those carrying the placards as well. It's not the last we'll see of that. The stadium is all aglow and 15,000 spectators really making the difference on a cold, chilly evening in Beijing. Not by Canadian standards.
I'm shivering.
Republic of Korea.
韩国。
We have a big entrance from the Republic of Korea. 32 athletes, led in by that beautiful flag, the Taigeki, the yin and yang flag symbolizing peace and harmony. 32 athletes host the last time round, of course, in Pyeongchang. Zheng Xuanhuang, para ice hockey. Nickname is Messi on Ice, and he earned it because he's a bit quick and also helped lead the country to bronze, their first medal in para ice hockey 4 years ago. They have participated in every Winter Paralympic Games since the 1992 edition, and of course their most edition was back on home turf 4 years ago.
Chile.
智利。
Chile made its Paralympic Winter Games debut in Salt Lake City in 2002. Not everyone realizes it, but Chile has great alpine skiing, and all 4 of its competitors in Beijing will compete in para-alpine. The flag bearer is Nicolas Bisquet. He has his sights set on a top 5 finish in one of the alpine events. He's also studying civil engineering in Santiago. There he is. There's one of the athletes anyway. There he is. Nicolas Bisquet.
Austria.
奥地利。
Well, Austria has competed in every Winter Games and finished top of the medal table in 1984. There are 17 athletes here, and 13 of them are competing in alpine skiing. Perhaps that's not surprising considering Austria's great history in alpine. Their flag bearer this evening, Barbara Anya, only 16 years of age, vision impaired category, giant slalom world champion at the moment. Her brother is also a current world champion, and her sisters have been her guides. A complete family affair is skiing for the Anyas. They won 2 silver and 5 bronze medals in Pyeongchang.
Switzerland.
瑞士。
And the flag's being brought in by Romy Schopp, who becomes Switzerland's first Paralympian in snowboard. Won a bronze medal in the snowboard cross team event at the World Para Snow Sports Championships. And alongside Hans Bergner, who will be taking part in the wheelchair curling. wearing the red and white of the Swiss cross. We've also got triple Pyeongchang champion Theo Gimur, who was standing downhill Super G and giant slalom gold medals.
Sweden's competed in every edition of the Paralympic Winter Games since hosting the Games in Örnsköldsvik in 1976. The flag bearers from wheelchair curling, Christina Ullander and Viljo Patterson Dahl. They were silver medalists at the World Championships last year. Very strong team. Sweden has won a medal in every sport that has been contested at the Paralympic Winter Games. Would need a snowboarding medal here in 2022 to keep that record intact, but does not have an athlete entered in snowboarding.
3 Mongolian skiers have qualified for the Beijing Games. Tsering Penchak, the first athlete to represent Mongolia in alpine skiing. Runner-up at the 2021 Paralympic World Championships. Flag bearer Ganbold Bangmuk, 30-year-old at his 3rd Paralympic Winter Games. Can't get the flag off him. He carried it in 2014 and 2018.
Well, the flag of New Zealand is being carried by a volunteer tonight. We will have 3 competitors, Adam Hall, Corey Peters and Aaron Ewan. Adam Hall won the Wang Yongdai Achievement Award, given to 1 male and 1 female athlete at each Paralympic Games who best exemplify the spirit of the Games and of Paralympic values. We'll see them on the slopes.
Mexico.
And from Mexico, 1 athlete, Arly Aristides Velasquez Penalosa, will compete in his 4th Paralympic Winter Games and carrying the flag for the 3rd time. He was on a holiday in Banff, Alberta, Canada in 2009 when he tried monoskiing for the first time. And, well, the rest is history. He's learned how to make his own equipment since then.
Young team from Germany. 7 of the 18 athletes are 22 years old or younger, half the team making their Paralympic debut here in Beijing. The youngest, just 15 years old, Lynn Keismeyer, will be in the Para-Ski Nordic. Annalena Forster and Martin Flick carrying the flags.
Australia.
And for Australia, flag bearers Melissa Perrine and Mitch Gawley. Mitch, now a 4-time Paralympian, is announcing that this will do it for him. Wish him all the best. Melissa, a 2-time bronze medalist and now also a 4-time Paralympian. A team of 10, including 2 guides. Very unlucky was Jonty O'Callaghan, who withdrew from the team after a training accident just a month ago.
Well, the team from Italy is getting ready, of course, not only for these games, but in 2026, Milano Cortina will host the Paralympic Winter Games. Italy's para-alpine program, very strong, includes 6-time world champion Giacomo Bertagnoli, who is carrying the flag. Martina Vozzi, just 17 years old, will compete in all of the para-alpine disciplines. She's a bronze medalist in slalom in January in Norway. Italy's para-ice hockey team could be in the hunt for medals here. Will start its tournament with a game against the Czech Republic tomorrow. They are draped in the flag, as it were.
The beautiful tricolour, which leaves just 1 nation to join the 45 who have made their way into the stadium and taken their seats. Our hosts.
People's Republic of China.
中国
Well, there's a rosy glow of red over the stadium. The biggest team, our hosts for the next 9 days of competition. And as they're right, China will compete in all 6 sports at these games.
It's a record 116 athletes, almost half of them in biathlon and cross-country. Only 26 competitors in Pyeongchang 4 years ago. But they did win their first medal, that wonderful gold in curling. And accompanying them into the stadium, a Chinese favourite ode to the motherland.
Back in Sochi in 2014, there were just 10 Chinese athletes. But in 2015, when Beijing was chosen to host its second edition of the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games, plans were put into place to encourage the Chinese people to take up winter sports. And a winter sporting nation they are now.
Two flag bearers from Para-Nordic, Ge Yuji, and I'm really excited to see Wang Zhidong, who could be a real disruptor, along with his team in the para ice hockey tournament. They went to the B World Championships last year and outscored their opposition 61-2 in 5 games, and could be a real surprise at these games, and maybe not even a surprise. Very fast, very athletic, and a really powerful team led by Wang Zhidong, one of the two flag bearers.
Just a delight to see these flags moving in time with the music to Ode to the Motherland. Such a loved tune and such an enthusiastic reception for the host nation's athletes. As the athletes make their way around, we just inform you of the IPC's decision that they will decline the entry of athletes from the Belarusian and Russian Paralympic committees, so they will not be taking part in these games.
So those nerves about walking into the stadium may have been put to rest a little. The athletes have been shown to their seats so they can enjoy the rest of the opening ceremony, and shortly we're going to see a video. Not everyone knows that 15% of our planet's population is made up of people with disabilities. The We the 15 movement aims to make disability more visible and included in everyone's daily life.
You know, as an athlete, you worked so hard to get here. You want to perform at your best tomorrow and in the coming days, but right now you want to live in this moment. The opening ceremony, you'll remember it the rest of your life.
You remind me to be happy.
I love that you don't let it get you down.
Good for you.
It breaks my heart.
Look at you out and about.
You push us all to do better.
You are superheroes.
Really?
Yeah, we're superheroes, alright.
For getting the kids out the door on time.
We push strollers.
Io sono il passeggino.
We break homes.
But there's nothing special about us.
We have them over here.
That's what we do, mate.
Watch reality TV. Pretend we're watching reality TV.
We're politicians and lobsters. Pension advisors.
We get married. We met on a blind date.
We can laugh at ourselves too.
We love our grannies.
And our go-go's.
We paint our nails.
We swipe right. We go on first dates.
Go on the pedestals on ice.
And the pity tolerated.
We're not special. That's not what it's like.
Non è la nostra realtà.
And only when you see us.
Wonderfully ordinary.
Wonderfully human.
Only then.
Can we all break down these barriers
That keep us apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Beijing Organizing Committee for the 2022 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, Mr. Tai Xi, and the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Andrew Parsons.
女士们、先生们， 欢迎北京2022年冬奥会和冬残奥会组织委员会主席蔡奇先生，国际残奥委会主席安德鲁·帕森斯先生。
尊敬的习近平主席和夫人
Sachi
彭
is
丽媛
acknowledging
女士，
the dignitaries present,
尊敬的帕森斯
the
主
athletes
席，各位运动
and
员，
audience.
各位来宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，北京冬奥会圆满闭
Following
幕
a
后，
successful Olympic Winter Games,
我
the
们迎
Beijing
来了北
2022
京
Paralympic Winter
2022
Games
年
open
冬残奥
tonight
会
as scheduled.
如期开幕。在此，我代
On
表北
behalf
京
of
冬
the
奥组
organising
委
committee,
向
I
来
want to
自世
extend
界
our
各地
warmest
的
welcome
运
to
动
the
员、
athletes, coaches
教练员
and
和各
distinguished
位嘉
guests from
宾
all over the
表
world.
示热烈欢迎。2008年
In 2008, Beijing delivered a high standard Paralympic
高水
Games.
平的残奥会。
And today, 14 years on, Beijing is again at the centre stage of the Paralympic movement, this time in partnership with Zhangjiakou.
在习近平主席亲
Under
自
the
推
guidance
动
of President Xi
和
Jinping
中国
and the
政
strong
府
leadership of the
坚强领导
Chinese
下
government, we've been acting
我们
on our
践
commitment
行
to deliver
绿
a
色
green,
共享
inclusive,
开
open
放
and clean
廉洁的
games.
办奥理念，与国际残奥委会
We've
等
been
方
working
面
closely with the
通力
IPC
合
and
作
other stakeholders in
按照
pressing
两
ahead
个
with the
奥
Games
运同
preparations.
样精彩
Our
的
goal
要
is to
求
achieve 2 games,
精
equal
心做
splendour,
好冬残奥会筹
and
办
present a
工作，
streamlined, safe and
努力
splendid
向世界
Paralympic Winter
奉
Games.
献一届简约、安全、精彩的残奥盛会。天行健。
Ancient Chinese philosophers believed, as heaven maintains vigour through constant movement, humanity must continually strive for self-perfection. Over the next 9 days, Paralympic athletes from all over the world will compete for excellence. Push beyond limits and show the world the true meaning of passion. We look forward to their stunning performance. Together, let us all enjoy the exhilaration of the Games, the elevation of the mind and the vitality of life, the wonderful gifts of Paralympic sports. Dear friends, the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games have brought us together. It sends a message of confidence, friendship and hope to the world. It shows that we can unite as one in the face of challenges and build a community with a shared future for mankind. We believe that the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games will help improve the well-being of persons with disabilities and make our world a kinder and better place. These Games will write a new chapter in the Paralympic movement. Let's work together for a shared future. I now invite the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Andrew Parsons, to speak.
Your Excellency Xi Jinping, President of the Republic of China, President of the Organizing Committee, Tsai Chi, sport fans all around the world, athletes from all competing nations, officials and distinguished guests, good evening and welcome to the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. Tonight, I must begin with a message of peace. As the leader of our organization, with inclusion at its core, where diversity is celebrated and differences embraced, I am horrified at what is taking place in the world right now. The 21st century is a time for dialogue and diplomacy, not war and hate. The Olympic truce for peace during the Olympic and Paralympic Games is a UN resolution adopted by consensus by 193 member states at the 76th UN General Assembly. It must be respected and observed, not violated. At the IPC, we aspire to a better and more inclusive world, free from discrimination, free from hate, free from ignorance, and free from conflict. Here in Beijing, Paralympic athletes from 46 different nations will compete with each other, not against each other. Through sport, they will showcase the best of humanity and highlight the values that should underpin a peaceful and inclusive world. Paralympians know that an opponent does not have to be an enemy, and that united we can achieve more, much more. Tonight, the Paralympic movement calls on world authorities to come together as athletes do, promote peace, understanding, and inclusion. The world must be a place for sharing, not dividing. Change starts with sport. Not only can it bring harmony, but it can be a catalyst to transforming the lives of people, cities, and countries. As the first city to stage both the Summer and Winter Paralympics, Beijing is a proof of this. Ahead of these games, hundreds of thousands of facilities have been made barrier-free. The venues are magnificent. The organization is extraordinary. The COVID-19 prevention and control, safe and efficient. The hospitable Chinese people have built a stage to fully showcase the best of Paralympic winter sports. Efforts to encourage and engage persons with disabilities to try winter sports have been outstanding. To the people of China, 谢谢. Paralympians, there is an important moment in your lives when, because of sport, you embrace your disability. Not as something that defines you, but something that is part of who you are. As you embrace it, you find your strength where others have seen weaknesses, and you find your own power and path to maximize what you do. If 15% of the world's population has a disability, Paralympians show to the remaining 85% that persons with disability can do whatever they want if given the opportunity. This is why the IPC and the International Disability Alliance launched We the 15 alongside a coalition of 18 international organizations. Through We the 15, we want to campaign for disability visibility, accessibility, inclusion, and equality of rights. Every one of the world's 1.2 billion citizens with disabilities should have the same opportunity to live life to the fullest. Chasing their dreams, fighting their way through life's ups and downs, and contributing to society. As humankind, it is up to each and every one of us to commit to change, to guarantee that opportunity. Finally, Paralympic athletes, your preparation to these games have not been easy, especially due to the global pandemic. You define the meaning of determination. You personify perseverance. Celebrate your achievements here and be proud that your abilities can and will change the world for many, many millions of people. Above all, have fun and play fair. I wish you all the best of luck. Xie, thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Peace! It's now my honor to invite the President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Xi Jinping, to declare open the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games.
我宣布，北京2022年冬残奥会开幕。
Which is the colour of We the 15.
Picking up on the We the 15 theme, all of the performers that you'll see and have seen, some have disabilities, some do not. Beautifully ordinary, they like to say, people from all walks of life.
history of Braille reading and writing for the visually impaired goes back almost 200 years. Represented in the arena this evening.
And we see the small agitos, the symbol of the Paralympic movement, Latin for I move. And we see it on the palm of their hands. It's something to be held tightly. It beckons more to change their lives, because change starts with sport. This is about inclusion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Paralympic flag.
女士们、先生们，欢迎国际残奥委会会旗入场。
The Paralympic flag is being carried by
国际残奥委会会旗的持旗手是
Chen Xi, coach of the Chinese national women's wheelchair basketball team. The team won China's first silver medal for the event at the 2020 Paralympic Games.
陈琦，女子轮椅篮球国家队教练，2020年残奥会率领中国队首次获得银牌。
郝国华 International referee for goalball.
郝国华，盲人门球国际级裁判员。
刘雨桐 Paralympic champion, para badminton, 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal.
刘雨桐，羽毛球运动员，残奥会1枚金牌、1枚银牌获得者。
Such an amazing honor to have the privilege of doing this for your, because you realize it's not just you, you're representing your family, your coaches, your fellow competitors, and just to have your hands on this flag ushering in the games, it's really special, it's really important.
张丽，游泳运动员，残奥会5枚金牌获得者。
孙康 Paralympic champion, wheelchair fencing, 4 gold medals, 2 silver medals.
孙刚，轮椅击剑运动员，残奥会4枚金牌、2枚银牌获得者。
薛娟 Paralympic champion, para table tennis, 4 gold medals.
薛娟，乒乓球运动员，残奥会4枚金牌获得者。
李豪 Paralympic champion, wheelchair fencing, 2 gold medals.
李豪，轮椅击剑运动员，残奥会2枚金牌获得者。
And we can see the purple emblem of the We the 15 on the wheels of the wheelchair. It's a circle with 15% cut out as a symbol of how many people on this planet live daily with some disability.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Paralympic anthem.
女士们、先生们，请起立，升国际残奥委会会旗，奏国际残奥委会会歌。请坐。
That was a well-rehearsed wind ensemble of visually impaired performers, 116 days of practice.
The Paralympic oath.
女士们、先生们，运动员、裁判员、教练员宣誓。
Athletes, officials, and coaches now readying for the Paralympic oath.
我以全体运动员
In the name of the athletes, in the name of all judges, in the name of all the coaches and officials,
教练员及官员的名义，
promise to take part in these Paralympic Winter Games, respecting and abiding by the rules in the spirit of fair play, inclusion, and equality. Together and in solidarity, we commit ourselves to sport without doping, without cheating, without any form of discrimination. We do this for the honor of our teams, in respect for the fundamental principles of the Paralympic movement, and to make the world a better and more inclusive place through parasport.
So we're coming to what's been entitled the Winter Paralympic Waltz, and here we see, for those of you who can, children with visual impairment enjoying getting creative with the paint. Expressing themselves through colour, through paper cutting, through creating. good when it gets messy. From the page to the center stage, we have 13 sign interpreters and performers with and without impairments in the Winter Paralympic Waltz.
That number again, 13. Trumpeters, 13 Paralympic Winter Games. 13, I'm told, a lucky number in China.
This waltz is a highly original composition and wholly original. Not known to many yet, but it will be. It's a moment to give a nod to Zhang Yimou, the creative force behind the ceremonies, Olympics, Paralympics 2022 and 2008. He's done a stunning job. Composition, instantly enjoyable.
Center stage, we see a beautiful snowflake.
It's coming.
Well, the Paralympic flame was lit, the Heritage Flame at Stoke Mandeville Hospital in England, but 8 other sites in China, and the flames have all come together. Carried by torchbearers, and the torch based on flying.
If you talk to anyone who's had the honor of doing this, they will remember this the rest of their lives, and it felt like they were lifted off the ground in some cases. I'll tell you that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic flame.
女士们、先生们， 欢迎冬残奥会火炬入场。
The Paralympic flame is being carried by
火炬手势。
刘思彤 Paralympian Para-Alpine Skiing
刘思彤，冬残奥会选手，高山滑雪运动员。
Just in recent days, the torch has been carried by over 560 people to areas of Beijing, Yanqing and Zhangjiakou.
You want to share that moment, you can, with as many people as you can.
The crowd want to cheer but have been told they can't. And clapping with gloved hands doesn't have quite the same ring around a stadium like this. But there's plenty of flag waving going on.
Wen Xiaoyan Paralympic champion Para-Athletics 5 gold medals
文小燕，田径运动员，残奥会5枚金牌获得者。
Some sections of the relay have occurred in places built especially for the development of individuals with physical disabilities.
Many of the performers we've seen and flag bearers are from these summer games, but over the next 10 days or so, there will be new legends, winter athlete legends, such as Ma Jia. In fact, she's from the Summer Games, 2 gold medals in swimming.
Zhang Xuemei Paralympic silver medalist wheelchair basketball
张雪梅，残奥会轮椅篮球项目银牌获得者。
That was a breakthrough performance by this team, her team last year in Tokyo. All the way to the gold medal game in wheelchair basketball.
Liu Cuiqing Paralympic champion Para-Athletics 4 gold medals 1 silver medal
刘翠青，田径运动员，残奥会4枚金牌、1枚银牌获得者。
Torch Relay has its own slogan, health, joy and energy, aiming to encourage people with disabilities across the world to enjoy winter sports and embrace a promising future.
champion, shooting para sport, 3 gold medals.
董超，射击运动员，残奥会3枚金牌获得者。
The ceremony was billed as being simple. It's been splendid. And we're heading closer to what's going to be a simple lighting of the Olympic cauldron, but it still be spectacular.
Paralympic champion, sitting volleyball, 1 gold medal and 2 silver medals.
唐雪梅，残奥会坐式排球项目1枚金牌、2枚银牌获得者。
The how is one thing, lighting the torch, lighting the flame. The who is always the interesting one for the host nation because they know the athletes so much better than maybe all of us do. And who gets that final honor?
Li Duan, Paralympic champion, para-athletics, 4 gold medals, breaking the world record in triple jumping at 2008 Paralympic Games.
李端，田径运动员，残奥会4枚金牌获得者。2008年残奥会曾打破
Athlete in athletics, Li Duan, world record holder, 4 gold medals in para-athletics.
Towards the beautiful staff snowflake with the olive branches around the outside made up by the tiny snowflake placards of the nations, the 46 nations that will be taking part in the Games of Beijing 2022.
Placing of the flame was a triumph of its own. willed into place by the crowd here and around the world, I'm sure.
Nothing worth having ever came easy.
Gentlemen, this is the end of the opening ceremony of the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. Good night, everyone.
女士们、先生们，北京2022年冬残奥会开幕式到此结束，祝大家晚安。
Well, a safe and simple games is the ambition as set out in the ceremony. As for success, well, in these games at this time, it's got a broader meaning.
It was a ceremony that introduced us to the people who are going to control our emotions over the next 9 days, a morale boost to finally, after many testing times, getting competition underway. The COVID pandemic has taken away much, made it harder to achieve what may have once been taken for granted, but it's also made simple things more precious.
Struck by the passion from the IPC president, Andrew Parsons. I've never seen him so passionate. Said he was horrified at what's happening in the world. He said that Paralympians know that an opponent does not have to be an enemy, and that change starts with sport. It can be a catalyst to transform the lives of people and cities and countries. That really struck me.
It's a great relief and, as you say, a boost to have reached this moment. It really is about to happen, and for many, for their first time.
And sport has a new role to play in these conflicted times. The world will watch Paralympians show how not surrendering to suffering and struggle can make it possible to strive and achieve, to advance and keep on advancing, even when those odds seem unsurmountable.
A simple lighting of the flame, if you will, but not just what it looks like, it's what it means. We're sure the athletes are going to remind us that the human spirit blossoms and thrives when we imagine what can be done and just go after it. We hope you can join us for their journey over the next 9 days. The ceremony has been a welcome diversion from world events. Now the challenge confronting athletes is a much more familiar one. Their competitions are about to start, and they can focus on what they do best. We do hope you've enjoyed the ceremony and what's to come. For the moment, though, it's good evening from Beijing.